Hello, and welcome to SUTV's annual dating show, Roomie Picks Bae! The show where your roommate picks the one for you, also known as when you give your roommate your Tinder on wine night. I'm your host, JT. Let's kick things off by introducing our roomies. Your name is Abby, correct?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Abby. This is my first year living with David, but we know each other very well, so I'm excited to see what he has in store for me tonight.
Okay, well, let's see how it goes. And now, let us introduce our baes. Because this is a blind dating show, they can't see who is on that wall. The other side of that wall, they can't see. I can't see them either. So let's start off with bae number 1. Tell us about yourself.
I'm currently sitting in a nice chair, and I'm planning on binge watching some movies tonight.
All right, let's go to bae number 2.
My pronouns are he, him. I was doing some plumbing in the bathroom near SUTV, and they came in and they said, hey, we need a sexy man for Roomie Picks Bae. And I looked around to see who they were talking about, but I couldn't find any. So I came out in their place instead.
Okay, well, that was a lot. There was a lot I was not expecting. But hey, here we are. Bae number 3, tell us about yourselves.
Yeah, I'm contestant number 3. I don't really know how to follow that. Excited to be here tonight. Hopefully it's a good bit of fun. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, great. And last but not least, bae number 4. What do you have to say?
Hello, and I'm looking for a bae.
All right.
All right, straight to the point. I like it. So let's go. Let's give you a rundown of how this show is going to work. Our roomies are going to be asking all the baes a question. On my phone here, I have a set of prompt questions. There are a lot of questions on here. They don't have to ask all of them. There are going to be 3 rounds. Each round, the roomies ask the baes 3 questions. You can choose one of these questions on my phone, or at any point, you can come up with your own question to ask. However, it will count as one of the 3 questions.
All right.
And with each round, the questions are going to get deeper and deeper and just a little bit deeper.
Wow,
Right?
I love getting deep here.
Not sure how to take that. All right, let's get this show started. So on my phone here are your first prompt questions.
And I can do any of my own as well.
Any of your own as well.
All right. So my first question, I knew this going into it. It's a very important one, and I'm going to need an explanation to the question as well as the answer. So my question is mountains or beaches, and why?
All right, bae number 1, what do you have to say?
Beaches, because one, I think oceans are better than mountains for one, and also beaches. They're if you're going in the ocean, right? They're full of wonderful wildlife, and even better, you can swim with dolphins, and you can probably swim with dolphins at the beaches. Can you do that on mountains? No.
All right, that's actually a very good answer. Bae number 2, mountains or beaches?
Well, there are pros and cons to both, So the beach levels, they're more earlier in the games, and it's like, they're easier, but also they're water levels, and nobody likes water levels. But the mountains, they're more room to jump around and stuff, but, it's harder. It's harder to jump around when there's more, of the Bowser's troops coming at you. So, yeah, I honestly, but not a fan of water. So, I wear blue a lot, but it doesn't reflect my personal ideologies. So I have to say the mountains.
Thank you.
I'm still, that accent, I'm not getting past it. But bae number 3, mountains or beaches?
I'm gonna have to probably go beaches just because I grew up on the Eastern Shore, so I never really have been around mountains that excessively. I would assume if I was, maybe my opinion would be different. But for me, beaches just kind of remind me of home, It feels nice, and I like the ocean. Waves are cool. Sand is nice. The people there are nice. It's all good times, so I'm gonna go beaches.
Okay. What do you guys think of those answers? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's on me. I'm so sorry.
I gotta hear all of
Bae
them.
number 4, mountains or beaches? I am so sorry.
I'm gonna have to go with beaches. I grew up going on family vacations to the beaches. I want to go skydiving eventually. I'm into jet skiing, and who doesn't like a nice boat ride? And then when you eat on the water, it's really pretty, but I've never heard of anybody eating on the side of a mountain, so I'm gonna go beaches.
All right. And what do you two think of those answers?
The last two stood out to me because they were kind of in depth and also interested in exploring. Like, they're not fully opposed to mountains. What do you think?
I agree, and David knows that I do love a good jet ski ride.
That's true.
Yes.
She does love a good. So that was something that got in my mind too.
Me
But
too.
very good answers all around. Very thorough. Some fun voices going on too. I think a lot of different people that could bring some spice to your life.
Yeah, it sounds like we have some real interesting characters over there.
Yes.
All right, now let's go with our question number 2. Again, you have these prompts right here. You could also ask your own question.
All right. So this is a good one. What year are you and how old are you? And I'm gonna add what's your major.
Ooh, okay. Bae number 1, you got that?
I am 22 years old, born in the year 2000, and my current major is media production, and I'm also a film minor.
Cool. It's great all around. Bae number 2.
I think I was born in 1983 or some year around that. In terms of university, I don't major in anything. Like I said, I did the plumbing. If I had to choose a major here, I think I would go into biology. I'd study a lot about turtles. I'm really into. Like I said, I'm not into the beaches too much, but I am very familiar with how the shells work. So I just wanted to know. I want to learn more about them. Physics, velocity, all of that. Maybe minoring in physics too. I'd like to do that too.
All right.
Wow.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot. All right, Bae number 3.
I just turned 21. I am a junior currently, and I'm a double major with philosophy and journalism.
Bae number 4.
I am a sophomore. I actually just transferred here a month ago. I am media productions.
What do you guys think? What are we thinking? Abby, what are you thinking?
Well, I don't know if I ever explained anything about me, about my majors and my age.
Oh, yes, please.
So
go
I'm
ahead.
21, double majoring in conflict analysis and dispute resolution and psychology. So definitely saw some overlapping interests there, maybe.
I think I need more to narrow it down.
You think you need more?
I
Okay.
need more.
Well, what is the last question you are going to ask for round 1?
Where would you guys go on a first date?
Where would you guys go on the first date? That's a
Big one.
great question. Bae number 1, where are we going?
Maybe something not too fancy, but also not too common, I would say. But probably at a nice restaurant.
Okay. Bae number 2.
I would have to say the Mushroom Kingdom. I heard that. I don't know too much about it. I don't go out too much besides going out of Mushroom Kingdom. But I do hear that the princess of the area, she makes good cake. I don't exactly know how that works because she doesn't bake. But my brother says that it's very good, and I'd like to try it sometime.
Okay. Bae number 3.
I guess it depends on, I guess we'll assume that we're in Salisbury, right? So there's not a whole lot around. Typically, I enjoy being outside, so probably find somewhere that you can find a spot in nature to take a little walk. There's not many of those around here, unfortunately, but you make do with what you got. Coffee's always a great option to get a little sip after you go for a stroll. Yeah, that seems like my option, I guess.
Nice. Okay. And Bae number 4.
She's just gonna have to go on a date with me to find out.
Oh. Ooh, we're getting a little saucy with him. Okay.
Wow.
All right, David, Abby, what do we
That's intriguing.
So
what do we think?
that's intriguing, but for number 4, I have some bad news for you. My roommate is a planner. She plans things through. She knows her schedule 5 years from now. So I'm
I
gonna need
never
a
said I
little
didn't
more.
plan it. I just said she's gonna have to find out.
So okay, yeah. I mean, as long as there's like a plan, as long as there's something going on, I definitely would agree with it. So for 3, nature's good. All really good answers. 1, I liked your response. 2, you are really giving very intriguing options. I don't know what to expect from you, and I kind of like that. But again, my girl Abby is a planner. So keep that in mind as we continue on.
Okay, that is the end of round 1. Abby, I have a question for you. Out of all the bays that you have heard so far, which one are you leaning more into?
That's a hard question, JT. That's a really hard question. I definitely agree with my roomie's assessment so far. We're definitely gonna have to learn some more, but I am extremely intrigued by number 2.
Interesting.
Number 2's in the lead. You hear that, number 2?
Yeah.
You hear that, number 2?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay, now this is the start of round 2. Another 3 questions. These are going to cut just a little bit deeper.
All right. So we're gonna start head into it. What is your red flag?
I would say my red flag is not having good cleaning responsibilities. Because I'm fairly sanitary. I like to keep things clean and whatnot around spaces and whatnot. So I would say that would be one of my red flags.
Interesting. Okay. Bae number 2, what do you got?
I'd say it's when somebody throws a blue shell in Mario Kart, honestly. Like, if you get the blue shell, you're already, like, in last place by the RNG. Like, you're not gonna win. Why are you gonna ruin it for everybody else, namely me? I'm pretty good at Mario Kart, I'd say. And it's like, it's not skill-based, you know? It's not skill-based. L plus ratio.
You know, he has a very good point. Bae number 3, what are you thinking?
Red flags are kind of tough. I don't really know. Maybe I would say someone who just has a lack of like passion and purpose for their life, you know? Like I want somebody to really care about what they're doing and have sort of love for that. So yeah, I think a lack of passion.
Okay. And Bae number 4.
Too many mixed signals and too many guy friends.
Interesting. Okay, what do we think?
One thing you do have to understand is when you date Abby, you date me by association. We are just attached at the hip like that. It's just something you're gonna have to accept. So first of all, you all are gonna need to sign up for that. We have contracts after, but we'll get to that.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, so a couple other things I noted. All right, well, it is very annoying, those shells. I'm gonna have to agree with you when I'm playing games. I get very annoyed. I'm starting to, I know it's blind, but I almost have a sneaking suspicion you're this character. I don't know where it's coming from though. 3, lack of passion, that's a good one. I definitely get how you like passion in another person and you're kind of figuring things out. And all right, so 4 was mixed signals and guy friends. Well, that happens to be Abby's type according to her exes, so we should be all set.
Oh. Okay.
Roommate drama.
Oh. Maybe you don't have to date him too.
Oh.
Okay, let's move to our second question of round 2. Again, these are cutting a little bit deeper, so be prepared.
How close are you to your family?
Very, very close to my family on both sides, actually. We communicate often, pretty much daily. So, I think to say that we are close is actually a bit of an understatement.
Okay, Bae number 2.
Well, being number 2, I have a lot of experience being number 2. My brother, he takes up a lot of the spotlight. I've been getting there. I had my own year once. But, my brother, he's always had it out for me. He's a good guy. Sometimes I wish he would let me do a little bit more, but I am close to him. I say we were all very close, even if he does use the blue shells in Mario Kart.
Bae number 3.
Yeah, me and my family are incredibly close. Like I said, they're from the Eastern Shore as well, so they're not super far. I get to see them pretty frequently. I'm hoping to actually see them tomorrow because they're going to the beach. I'm like best friends with my brother. He's my favorite person. My cousins are also like my besties. We do everything together. So yeah, love my family. They're the best.
All right, that's actually great to hear. And Bae number 4.
I'm also very close with my family. I talk to them a lot. I text, FaceTime a few times a week. And I don't know what I would do without my parents. I probably would not be sitting in this chair right now.
Okay, now I want to ask Abby, what do you think so far? What do you think of these answers? How close are you to your family?
I'm super close to my family. My brothers are my best friends, and that means a lot to me. That sounds like these guys are also very close to their family, so it's definitely a priority for me.
Great, I'm happy to hear that. Let's go to our third question, last question of round 2.
What do you value most in a relationship?
Ooh, that's a good question. There's a large variety of answers this could be. Let's start with Bae number 1.
Commitment is foremost the most heavy responsibility when maintaining a relationship, and that's what I value the most.
Okay. Bae number 2.
Well, so, there's this girl, right? And we're kind of in a situationship, as you'd call it. She likes daisies. Can't say the name, but we're kind of on and off. And with her, we're off right now. Don't worry. I'm not cheating right now on the show. But honestly, I think it's a little bit more of a tomboy. Like your favorite color, yellow, preferably. And if you're not those, nobody's perfect. I'm open to change. I'm open to, hoping my accent is fixed at one point. So yeah.
I think Bae number 2 has some drama behind the scenes that we can't quite discuss on this show. Bae number 3.
I would say primarily just mutual respect between the two parties, making sure that you respect each other's individual lives and kind of have each other as like that solace to come to when you're done with your outside life, as well as just kind of a commitment to fun and excitement and trying like new things and enjoying life as best as you can.
All right, and Bae number 4.
I'm going to say a few: trust, loyalty, communication, and love.
Interesting. David, what's your take?
Are you asking me what I value, or are you asking me about their answers?
About their answers.
Okay.
About their answers.
So, for number 1, commitment, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Commitment, that's huge. For Abby, for me, you have to be committed to us. No, just kidding. But commitment is huge in a relationship, and that kind of dedication is really important. Going for number 2, I was rooting for you. I was really rooting for you, but it seems like there's some drama at home, and I just don't know if I can put my girl through that. But I'm not completely ruling you out. 3, I really like mutual respect. That's obviously very important. I like how you mentioned kind of having your own lives, things like that, but also like finding passion and excitement with each other. And then for 4, I just really appreciated it. It was core values. It was to the point. So I am taking this all in as well. Yeah.
Okay, and with that being said, that is the end of our round 2. Abby, I'm going to ask you the same question. Out of all of our bays here, who are you leaning more towards?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that number 2 definitely lost me on this round. Sounds a little messy, I'm not really into that. So I really like how contestant number 3 was saying mutual respect was an important value. That's definitely one of my core values as well.
And now, the second round is over. It is time for our third and final round. These are going to be the deepest questions that our bays are going to be asked. How are bays feeling over there while David's deciding?
Good.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, couldn't put it better myself.
I'd say things are going great.
Oh,
Oh, right.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
David, do you have a question?
Yeah. So I have my own question, and then I picked the 2. So I'll start with my own. When was your last serious relationship, and tell me a little about it?
Oof, if I'm being completely honest, there actually has been none, actually.
Okay, so no.
That's valid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationship virgin. That's okay. Bae number 2.
Okay. I just want to clear up some things about Princess Daisy. Okay, you say like, oh, this has the drama, like he has emotional baggage and all of that, but I'm over her. Okay, I'm over her. I'm ready to move on. I am here. I was actually not plumbing in the bathroom. Okay, I planted myself here strategically because I have a plan. I know you like plans because you like to plan out your dates and all of that, but I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to change, and I'm sorry if I came across as like too like the baggage, all that stuff. But I'm not mentally stable,
I think I don't know. But yeah.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, I guess.
I'm speechless. Bae number 3.
Yeah, without saying too much, last relationship ended early on last semester. It was a very good relationship. I still have a ton of respect for the person I was with. It just was a sort of thing that I was recognizing I was not at all in a place that I could be like the right person within that relationship, and I was kind of losing myself a bit and needed to take a step back and focus on myself a little bit. Good resolution, as far as I know, good everything like that. Just kind of how time takes things, I guess.
Okay, and Bae number 4.
I have also never been in a relationship. I knew a girl in high school. Didn't really go well after a couple months. So since high school, quarantine started, I've just been focusing on myself.
Okay, Abby, what do you think of those answers?
Good answers. I appreciate the honesty. Yeah, thank you all for sharing. I appreciate it.
Okay, David, any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think any of those answers were bad. Some may have been a little confusing, question number 2, but overall, pretty good answers. It seems like a lot of individual self-discovery as well as some romance going on. And again, I'm factoring it in. I'm still a little undecided, so I'm gonna need more. These last couple questions are important.
Okay. This is the second question of round 3. Again, these are deep cutting questions.
I am gonna do, when was the last time you cried?
Ooh, that's a great one. I don't wanna remember the last time I cried, but I'm not a contestant, so I don't have to answer that question. Bae number 1.
Around October of last year, when I received the news that my beloved 16-year-old dog ended up passing away.
Oh, I'm very sorry for your loss. Bae number 2.
Honestly, I think it was. That's the last question. It was the last question. No,
It's
I
okay.
got crying because I remembered it was the last question.
Bae number 2.
I was crying. I'm sorry. I'm not the tough man. I was crying when I was saying the stuff about Princess Daisy, but I'm crying now. But then besides that, the last time I cried, it was like the Superstar Saga. You know, it was like there was a lot of these very animated series that I had a film for. But yeah, that's it. You know, I cry a lot, but I'm crying right now. But they're drying off. Can I use your shirt? Thank you.
Oh.
But yes, that's it.
Contestant number, I'm sorry, I'm not the host, but contestant number 3, do you want to answer, please?
Yeah, Bae number 3. Let's
Yeah, so actually, last night I'm in a class called Critical Issues in Healthcare, where we talk about like end-of-life care and like the philosophy behind that and like all of those issues. And we had a guest speaker who was a former ICU nurse who was talking about like sort of setting up everything before you get into a state when like you're going to die. And the way that she was talking to us was just very, very powerful. And like it kind of had me thinking about like my parents and like the morbid nature of all of that and like aging and everything. So that cut kind of deep, and some little tears were shed in that class. It was a pretty emotional class for most people in there. So yeah.
And Bae number 4.
So long story short, after my parents moved me into college 4 weeks ago, they put a box on my desk and told me not to open it until they left. So the second I walked up to my apartment, I opened the box, and it was like pictures and letters and like chocolate, and I read the letters, and like the first sentence, I broke a tear or two, and then I read the rest of the packets, and then I cried. So yeah.
Aww.
It like first time I ever been on my own and like by myself. So reading those packets in an empty apartment kind of got me.
Aww. I might cry myself just hearing that. No, I won't. David, what do you think?
I will not be sharing which contestants, but I definitely have 2 favorites.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, keep that to yourself.
Oh, I will. I will.
Abby, what are you thinking?
I'm still really overwhelmed by the emotional vulnerability of contestant number 2. That was definitely a lot, but I really appreciated everybody's answers. Those were really good reasons. So yeah.
Okay. And this is the last question for round number 3. This is the finish line of the show. What is the third question you are going to ask the Baes?
How big of a role does love play in your life? And answer your zodiac sign as you answer that.
Sneaky.
All right. That's Bae number 1.
Okay, so my zodiac sign is actually Cancer, the nice fancy crab up in the sky, and And love is like pretty much equally it can be equally as important as, say, like, you know, like passion for like whatever you're doing, like love to a relationship, love to, you know, your passion, love to pretty much, you know, stand up and do what you do every day. So love to me personally is equally as important as many other factors in life itself.
Insightful. Okay, Bae number 2.
I'm not really into the zodiac signs, so I don't have an answer, but I do spend a lot of time on the Rainbow Road, and I'm by the stars a lot, and the stars are in me. And I think that's kind of love, in a sense, you know? Like, love is, we all have each other and ourselves, and I just want, maybe, you know, I'm not known for my romance. I'm not known for, you know, like my brother, he's always like he's always doing this faraway thing. But me, I'm always just doing my own thing. I get ghosted sometimes. It's like you might have heard it, it's called mansions. I can't say my name. But, you know, I vacuum it all up and keep it clean. I really like to be clean. I'm also clean. And, yeah, in terms of love, I think love is what drives us all.
Wow.
That was really something.
Definitely something. I
Thank
wish.
you.
Your brother sounds really cool. I wish he was on the show.
Yeah, maybe bring him next.
Bae number 3. Bae number 3, please. Bae number 3.
Yeah, I mean, love is.
Oh.
Yeah. Love is at like pretty much the core of most things for me. As far as like philosophy goes, because that's kind of like where a lot of my love is right now, and I think it sort of sheds more light on how I perceive it. I think love is how you find like your purpose and how you find like your drive and like your passion in life. And similar to contestant 1, it is kind of like at the core of everything that we're doing. The people that are around me are the most important thing to me, like the love for my friends and the love that I get from them. Like I work at a little coffee shop, and like I try to like put love into the drinks that I make, just because I think it makes everything a little bit better, you know? So I think anything that can have love involved, it'll automatically be better than something that doesn't.
Wow, I could use a coffee with love about now.
Anytime, man, you know that.
Well, not to get away from that beautiful speech, but I do need to know your zodiac sign as well.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's Aquarius.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And Bae number 4.
I am a Virgo, before I forget to say that. And then I think love is like the center of relationships. So at a certain point when you're seeing a woman and you're going on dates and then you're dating her, if you don't love her, like there's really no point in being in a relationship with her if you don't love her. You know, you have to love what she does. You have to love what you believe in. It's kind of just like, it's like a commitment. You're being in a relationship, you better love the person. Because if you don't love the person, then like you date to marry kind of thing.
Wow, okay, I think Bae number 4 just earned some points in Abby's book. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. I'm also a Virgo, by the way.
Ooh, she's a Virgo.
So that was intriguing.
All right, David, what are you thinking?
I'm still between the two that I will not say that I'm between.
Ooh, he's still between 2. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, with that being said, that's the end of our 3 rounds. And now David and Abby will have a little bit of time to decide for themselves who they want to win Roomie Picks Bae. So I'm going to give you guys at most 2 minutes, but whenever you guys are ready, just tap me on the shoulder, let me know, and I will get back to you guys. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. And we are back with Roomie Picks Bae. All 3 rounds are over. All 12 questions have been answered. David and Abby, they have decided who they want to win Roomie Picks Bae. So Abby, why don't you do the honors?
Well, actually, the way we just decided this was we just played rock, paper, scissors because we were...
Between 2. No, but there's a reason. I'm going to tell you that the 2 that are between, we were between 3 and 4. 3 perfect answers every single time. Of very, very like unique and thoughtful answers. We can very tell that you're thoughtful, caring. 4, you have a lot in common with Abby, I noticed, and you really seem to show that. So we were really at a standstill, and we thought it would be best to let fate decide. And do you want to know who fate decided?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Can we get a drum roll?
Abby, who did you pick to win Roomie Picks Bae?
Bae number 3.
Bae number 3! Congratulations, Bae number 3. We're going to take one more short commercial break. We are going to set up the big reveal. So we'll be right back.
Exciting.
Decide that.
All right, and we are back with Roomie Picks Bae. Abby picked Bae number 3, and now for the big reveal. Abby, are you feeling nervous?
A little bit.
I think you'll be okay. All right, on the count of 3, both of you are going to turn around. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
I'm
to-
Liam.
nice to meet
Here's the
you.
mic. How's it going? How do we feel about that little situation
Great.
there? Was it fun?
Yeah,
I had
3's
a
my
good
lucky
time.
number, so.
It's mine too. No, that's literally
There
what
you
I
go.
said when they gave me the number. I was like, that's fly. That's very fly.
Perfect.
So what was it that led for us two to be the last two?
Oh,
Yeah,
is this
what- yeah,
about
what was your
my-
thought
Oh,
process?
this is about my
So we loved both of your answers the most because we think you just had very individual answers. Like I could tell that you have like you're a very thoughtful person. We got very thoughtful vibes from you. You are, you're a Virgo, and you're also very similar to Abby in a lot of senses.
I don't know what a Virgo is.
Oh, okay.
I just know that's my
Well,
that's my thing.
there you go.
That's
But
what my Snapchat says.
we were between those two for those reasons. And then seriously, it was rock paper scissors. So this is divine.
It's all
this
by
is
fate,
this
right?
is by fate.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Divine fate.
yeah,
Fantastic.
exactly. So I'm very happy for you guys. I'm gonna sit back
Yeah,
down.
thanks so
Oh.
much.
Thank you.
And that is that on Roomie Picks Bae. Once again, I'm your host, JT, and we will see you next time or next year, whenever you decide to tune in, on Roomie Picks Bae!
That's a wrap.